The views, opinions, and representations expressed on the Kagos Radio Network and its website are those of the host, guest, and participants. UFO Talk Radio can, but does not necessarily promote any particular lifestyle, belief, religion, political affiliation, or other personal practice. These shows are for entertainment purposes only, and they are not intended to treat or diagnose and/or claim to cure any disease or condition, or give any medical or legal advice. All music is purchased and owned by LGA Broadcasting.
I got the windows rolled down, got the radio up, and I'm heading out of Vegas tonight. And it's a 1:30 on a 4-day run, and the desert is a welcome sight. I can see you there in that dress you wear, and it's keeping my foot on the gas. I'll drink a gallon of Joe just to make it back home and hold you in my arms at last. There's a full moon shining, lighting up the highway like a beacon to you. If I can make it on time, past some moonlit state line, I'll roll a diesel right on through.
Are you ready? What you are about to experience is real. Right along with us. From deep in the desert of Nevada, The Glenn Larry Show.
And I am here, everybody. I do welcome you on this beautiful, beautiful night. I'll tell you, full moon's out, and it is, well, it's a little windy, I would say. Had quite an interesting week. I do bid all my friends out there, the ham operators and Worldwide Radio Club down there. Boy, I tell you guys over there in California, I've been hearing a lot of you, and guys in Texas also. To my night drivers also, all radio affiliates and small broadcasters, AM, FM stations, of course, and Facebook and friends, subscribe, please. Other podcasts that have been heard all over the world. We do thank you guys again for that. We do thank you for listening to Glenn Larry Show, K-Ghost Radio. We're on a lot of different stations, and you'll be picking those up as you see our websites. Also, a special shout out to Avondale Fire Company, Mr. Stephen Cole Sr., 55 years of dedicated service to Avondale Fire Company. That's right, and their community and friends. This gentleman served for many, many years as president, vice president, treasurer for both fire companies and Relief Association for, I believe it's Fire Police I see here, and captain and chaplain right now continues doing that. My God, I was told about this man many years ago, and I think I've met him. I'm sure I have. Chief Hall down there at Station 23. Yeah, you guys are fantastic. To all the EMS down there, thank you kindly, and all over the world. We do thank you. So do so much. Yes, I'll tell you for sure. To Barbara and Neil over there in London, we say hello to them. And, of course, Florida, Kennedy. Randy in PA, Jonathan in Texas. And, of course, we said hello to Station 23 down there listening tonight. We love you guys. Chris and Val and lots of all my friends out there listening. And I tell you, the cities are starting to pop up. I see over here, we do have some Canada again. Boy, we're popular over there. Got 4 hits already on you guys. Fantastic. Yes. Tonight's going to be an interesting show. I've heard about this lady for many talks with many folks in the type of spiritual world and all this. And this lady is brilliant. She's been around the world. She has, her name's Diana D. James. And I have her on the line also with Matthew. And that's, I believe, her husband. And they have been everywhere. And from vibrations to healings to you name it, energy, it's all there in this conversation tonight, even about special healing oils. And she's been everywhere. But her story is interesting. I don't want to spoil it. I want her to tell it because I don't want to tell it wrong. Diana, are you on the line there? Have I got you guys on?
Right.
Good. Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Hey.
We're here.
Gosh, thank you so much for coming on the air tonight. And can you tell the folks exactly what you do.
Mhm.
We love it.
Well, yeah, I have, and Matthew does this with me. It's the Academy of Sacred Arts and Sciences, which is a contemporary mystery school.
Ooh,
Now,
yes.
I was born with some special abilities that I inherited from both of my grandmothers, clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience.
Wow.
And I spent most of my young life trying to be normal, trying to be like everyone else,
Mm,
because those abilities of mine were very threatening to
mm,
my parents and my teachers and my siblings. So um, I basically tried to beat them off with a stick.
wow.
And I took refuge in my mind as a scientist um, until a certain point in my life when my life depended on me opening those gifts back up again to save my life. And it's like my inner scientist and my inner mystic who had always uh, been fighting with each other about who was the most right about everything.
Hmm.
At that point, they decided uh, to get married. And so the Academy of Sacred Arts and Sciences, we offer a number of different courses and experiences
Hmm.
uh, for people that help the innate mastery in every human being to awaken on this planet. That's just what floats my boat. I've come close to death many times and have been able to successfully overcome sort of some impossible odds again and again.
Mm.
And so it's my pleasure to show everybody else how to do that in a nutshell. And I do it with all kinds of fun um, ways, one of which I would love to share with your listeners tonight.
Go ahead. Love to hear it.
If there's um, so when it feels the right moment, I would love to do that.
Okay. How many people do you think have this a natural ability? Does everyone have it, or just a select few that can open their minds like
No,
this?
everyone, everyone has it. Um, it's usually sort of shut down or dumbed down by schools and churches
Mm.
and parents. I could not talk to my own grandmother about my abilities because she was raised Pentecostal. And so for her, even her own abilities scared the daylights out of her. She thought they were evil. And what it is as human beings, we are built for this. And we're happening to be at a point, those of us who are were born onto this planet right now, at a very pivotal place in the evolution of humans.
Uh-huh.
Because everything, even the astrophysical reality that we're lined up with the center of our galaxy right now, causing a tremendous influx of photonic light energy, which awakens a lot of dormant abilities in all of humans. And we're finding that people are hungry, they're looking, they're sensing something awakening. They want to know what it is. They want to access it, and most of them want to use it to help other people and this planet. And that's what our academy, our mystery school, is all about.
Hmm. Interesting. Now, within your travels, did that help you out later on in life, or did your ability stop when you were younger? As you said, it was you were younger when it started, but how when did the faucet really turn on for you?
The faucet turned on when I had 3 weeks to live. I,
Wow.
uh, that's when it really turned on because I called out for help to discover the way for me to survive an illness that lab techs tell me that no one had ever survived until I did. Um, And so everything that I had worked to shut down earlier in life, I ran after trying to wake it up really fast.
Wow.
My travels, of course, I was led to Egypt 4 times, to Bolivia, to Peru, to England, to Scotland, to France, um, to Bimini, to Sedona a lot. I lived in Sedona for 4 years.
Oh, that's very
Um,
nice.
so uh, there's a quickening on this planet right now.
Yeah.
I think everybody, I think everybody can really feel it.
I can feel it big time.
Oh,
Oh, yeah. There needs to be a big healing on this planet. I really feel that.
yeah,
I mean, and this ability that in this academy thing you have can teach folks how to open their minds and how to really concentrate and use the vibrations and their quality of frequency usage in their minds to heal others. Um, I really believe that. And
yeah,
you've heard the power of prayer, of course, and
yes.
that's among all that too. And of course, when we talk about our higher beings, what does that mean to you?
Our higher self, it's
Yes.
like, and whenever we get just a few minutes to do this little thing, I want to give as a gift to all your listeners tonight, that they can do right where they are and use it for the rest of their life to continue to evolve and open their own gifts.
Mhm.
The higher self is the part of us that never lost its connection to the divine. Okay, it's not higher as in better. It's like higher up on the mountain of the all that we are. So it has a wider view and can be a tremendous support and ally and guide for us to walk our most abundant, powerful, delicious, love drenched life on, on the earth.
Can you tell us, have you experienced any type of uh, visitations at all yourself of materializations?
Yes, yes, sir, I have.
Could you tell?
Since I was a small child, actually,
Okay.
and um, you know, I had what my mother would call an imaginary friend who I made my parents set a place for him at the table. His name was Fred, and he he was real, and many of you out who may have had similar experiences and had them sort of written off probably had the same sort of guides, helping spirits, angelic, um, sometimes ancestral spirits um, in our space, helping us along with our earth walk. So, yes, I have um, interdimensional guides. The Hathors are some of my most profound partners in everything that I do. The Hathors are an ascended race of beings that are sort of like a big brother sister race to us.
Wow.
Their vibration is industrial strength love, and they are masters of sound and love. So uh,
And how do they just appear and you just pop in and pop out, or how do they arrive to when you communicate to
they're
them?
very respectful as any visitors from any other dimension should be
Yeah.
respectful of our free will. Um, they will approach, but not really interact unless we invite them. So I started. I want to. Here's where I get to acknowledge and really honor my teachers. Tom Kenyon,
Okay.
one of them,
Hmm.
and he wrote a book called The Hathor Material. Jordan Below Melchizedek. I did Jordan Below's Flower of Life workshop and became a Flower of Life facilitator. That is a specific training that teaches us how to activate our Merkaba field, an energy field around our body. Um, So Drumbelow's nephew, Ken Page, one of my most revered teachers, he taught me about pet communication, among other things. And Gary Young, Dr. Gary Young, was a friend of mine early on in my days as an aromatic alchemist. So,
And what is that? Can you explain that to me? What does that mean?
yes, most
I have to
people,
ask.
well, a lot of people are familiar with the word aromatherapy,
All right.
but it really doesn't begin to touch what the Egyptians and the Tibetans and other mystery school practices that used essential oils. We're talking about aromatic alchemy has been called the conscious evolution of our soul. Now, what do I mean by that? What I mean is that every human being has a wellspring of emotional, mental, physical, and spiritual energy. Essential oils are one of the only things that we know of, other than quartz crystal, that retains the same vibration throughout all dimensions. So, essential oils can take us deep into the places inside of our lives, our memories, our past, where we most need to look, but might be mostly afraid to look because they're scary. So, those are the places in past trauma that we've hidden our power until the time that we're ready to grow up and go and get it. Essential oils are like going to those places with beautiful fairy godmothers and fairy godfathers, very wise and protective, that help us look at the parts of ourselves that have been difficult for us to own and integrate. So this is what aromatic alchemy does. It helps you harvest the really peely parts of your life that you mostly wanted to shove in your dungeon and not look at ever again.
Mm-hmm.
But that's where our power is hidden.
Wow. That's pretty heavy stuff there, I'll tell you. Now, when you when you went to Egypt, tell us your experience over there. What did with these aromatics?
Oh, well, you know, my guides told me, because everybody was saying, "Oh, you've got to listen to Art Bell, and you've got to read this book and that book," and my Catholic teacher said, "Dinah, your feet will remember the sand under your feet. They'll recognize that sand. Just go with an empty cup and let yourself be filled, and you can do all the research once you get back." So that's what I did, and it was a transformative, amazing experience. All those temples are still alive. I met one of my mentors, Dr. Khalil Messiah, who was an Egyptian geobiologist. That he was a dowser, and he very, very dear to me. Yes, he's no longer with us. Walking around those temples, things just they were built to activate our divine nature. So just going and standing in those places does something to everyone that goes.
You had quite an experience there then when it happened. Did you get?
I had experiences every time I went there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you in a group or are you by yourself? Or how's that work when you go to these places?
Oh, I went each time with a tour.
Okay.
The first 3 times I went with the same tour leaders, Vonda Osmond and Mary Lomondo. Vonda had a small and mighty sacred travel company called Joy Travel.
Oh, great.
Yep. So that was that is how I would highly suggest that people go if they haven't gone, to go in a group that focuses on the sacred aspects of those places.
Yeah.
Wow. Yep.
So when is your next class coming up? are where people can. I would like to have you give, if you would, your email address or information how they can get a hold of you. Would you give that to us now?
Yes, sir. It's Diana, Diana, at Sacred Aromatics, and that's SacredAromatics .com. Diana at sacredaromatics.com. We have several things coming up. This Saturday begins the Zoom online version of a course that I'm doing that I've never done before. I have a live class going on here in the Hill Country that's about 2 months in. It's a 6-month course on creative plane abundance, how to master the skill of working with formless substance that permeates all of the universe to bring about the life of your dreams systematically every day. So that's starting this Saturday. And then the spring equinox weekend, I'm getting to teach our foundation level aromatic alchemy certification course. And that's going to be held at Heidi's Zen and Alchemy place in the classroom downstairs. I'm very excited about that.
And would you have Heidi's address where they could go for that? I'll just contact you apparently, right? Or how would that work?
They should contact me directly if they're interested
good.
in any of those things.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really kind of chomping at the bit to share something with your listeners that they can use right now.
Let's do that. Go ahead. It's all yours.
Do we have time
Yes,
before
we
your
have.
break?
Yes, you have time. I'll take a break in a little bit here. Go ahead.
All right then.
Okay.
So what I'm going to share with you, you can all, and I'll do it too, and so will Matthew. It's where I begin with all of my private clients and all of my classes. I would imagine that a lot of your listeners are highly sensitive people, and probably a fair number of empaths that are drawn to what you do also. So this is for you, because when I learned it, it quite literally saved my life. It was brought to me by some teachers who said, Diana, your energy field is out to Kansas. It's stretched out to Kansas. Empaths, we send our awareness out way out there because we want to know what's coming, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they said, dangerous. You know, it's like pouring your energy and attention out over a really wide area. And besides the fact that if your energy field is stretched out to Kansas, then you're including everyone and everything between here and Kansas in your personal space. And that was enough to get my attention. They said, you want to do exactly the opposite. So right now, advising everyone to do the first of what I call the 3 C's. And people that want to get the instruction how to do this, just contact me at the address I gave you, the Diana at sacredaromatics.com. And I'll send you the written tip sheet on how to do it so you can let your busy and brilliant mind relax. Okay, you can just follow along with what I instruct you to do. So pull your energy in this moment from wherever it's been. Pretend there's a huge, powerful tractor beam magnet in the core of your physical body that is calling your energy and attention in to consolidate itself in the safety of your body temple. And the feeling you're after right now when you do this first step is that you just got a little heavier, a little more dense. So when you have that feeling that you've just gotten a little more solid, then you go to the second step. The first step is called consolidate, and the second step is called connect. So right now, right here, you're going to command the presence of the divine in your life by calling your higher self to connect with you in your body right now and to give you a physical and tangible sign in your body when your connection is complete and secure, not wobblish.
Mm-hmm.
Just giving a moment for that sign to come. So then, and the reason we do the consolidation first is so that you're at home to get the phone call, so to speak, from your higher self. Once you've gotten that sign in your body that your connection with your higher self is complete and secure, then you move to the third step, which is convene. This is when you are going to call into service all of those helping spirits, angels, ancestors, Davic, gemstone totems, animal totems, all of the ones who are assigned to help you in your earth walk. It's like saying everybody on deck for volleyball right now. Everybody who is supposed to help me, please come. And you also want your team to give you a physical and tangible sign in your body when everybody's there. Now, this took me 9 months.
Wow. Yeah.
A lot of mystery school teachings are simple, not necessarily easy. I was such a space cadet. It took me 9 months to pull my energy into my body, but it did save my life. A lot of empaths and healers that work in what I call extraordinary energy, we burn out because we've spread ourselves way too thin.
Right.
So that is the 3 C's. It's called energetic integrity, good housekeeping. And for anybody who wants that little tip sheet on how to do it, just email me at Diana@sacredairmask.com and I'll send it to you.
Right. Do you have that website? Do you give them also?
Yes, my website is dianadjames.com.
Okay, great. There you go. All right. We're going to go to commercial and we'll be back right after this.
There's no typical meth user. I was from an upper middle class family. Meth is terribly addictive. My first time using it, I was hooked. There was no turning back. I lost my job. I was homeless. I never thought I'd see my family again. I have a great fear of meth because it took so much of me. I mean, it took everything. Meth took over my soul.
Visit our website at drugfree.org. A message from the Partnership for a Drug-Free America.
And we want to say another shout out to Stephen Cole, Sr., by the way. 55 years dedicated himself to EMS Fire, Avondale Fire Company. And I'm going to put his picture up here, everybody. You will see, there he is. There. Oh, I just had him up. All right. He's right in the middle there getting his nice little award there for him. Yeah, I did meet him. Unbelievable. God, thank you for your service, sir. Thank you very much. We appreciate you.
Violence, theft, drugs, graffiti. It's all part of joining a gang. In times like these, we need to protect our children and our community from gangs. Gangs often prey on unsupervised teens with low self-esteem, who perform poorly in school, who seek a sense of belonging, or are simply bored. Joining a gang often involves violent hazing rituals. Once in a gang, members can become alienated from their families, school, and friends. Drugs, guns, and malicious activity are common elements in gangs. Trying to leave a gang can be a difficult and dangerous process. The best way to get out of a gang is never to join one. Protect kids from being recruited by a gang. Know who they're hanging out with. Involve kids in after-school activities and provide positive role models. Help reduce gang activities in your community by working with local law enforcement and school systems. Don't let a kid you know get involved with gangs. Visit ncpc.org to learn more or contact your local law enforcement agency.
A message from the U.S. Department of Justice, National Crime Prevention Council, and the Ad Council.
And we are back with Diana James. Oh, my goodness. Boy, what a special thing you just did for us, the 3 C's. And I'm going to have to get my chart also, by the way, if that's okay with you. And sincerely, so you're going to have a class real soon. What I want to do is open the lines up. Hopefully, we'll get some callers on this. This kind of a different show, and I'm enjoying it. Yeah. When you do radio, have you done many radio shows yourself?
No.
Okay.
My first.
All right. If you get closer to your microphone, I appreciate it there. All righty.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that better?
Much better.
Okay.
So do you have a book out at all?
Well, there's the books that goes with my class,
Okay.
Aromatic Alchemy, but I am just getting ready to publish one, my very first, and that has to do with some material that I got from a teacher on the correct way to do affirmations. A lot of people use affirmations to try and create their life.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all being done sort of completely incorrectly right now. It's part of what I present in the Creative Plain Abundance 6-month course.
Right. And
So that book will be out in very soon, actually.
when that comes out, I'd
And
like to get a copy from you and be able to talk about that book also. Matthew, are you
My
out there?
pleasure.
Is Matthew there?
Yeah, I'm right here.
All right.
He's right here.
How are you helping her out? What do you do in all this?
Well, I'm kind of her backup. I do a lot of the logistical support, but also I'm with her in the process. And I have to say, being with Diana has opened up a whole spectrum of experiences for me in terms of a lot of people would consider it to be like, magical experiences or whatever. But, before we were together, I had a lot of inklings about things, and I had a lot of sort of experiences where things would happen, but I couldn't identify it specifically. And since I'm with her, we've been able to collaborate, and I can identify now. And when she says, "Oh, do you see that over there?" and I go, "I can look over there. Yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
I get it." So we're kind of a tandem group. People actually stop us on the street sometimes. Just they ask us or they say things about us as a couple. We certainly, when we, for instance, we came into Zen and Alchemy, they both of Heidi and and Risha, her partner there, they immediately got, "Oh, what is this? This is something different. These two people are not your usual pair."
Right.
So, I can't explain it. I can only acknowledge it.
It's your spirit. It's your spirit.
Somebody once said to me, you were asking about, does everybody have these abilities? Somebody once said to me, they said, Jesus was operating the mechanism to the manufacturer's specifications.
Okay.
In other words, when Jesus sent his disciples out and they did all that healing and whatever, and they came back and said, "Wow, we did all these great things," and he said, "Yes, you'll do more."
Wow.
It's inherent. It's inherent in all of us. And what I have observed, especially in Diana's classes, she creates a forum or a foundation for people to emerge.
There you go.
For those latent gifts that people have been holding on to or didn't maybe even know were there, to just show up. Because all of us want an atmosphere in which we can reveal ourselves.
Right.
And become who we really are in the bigger sense of things, not the
And
not
we
the small self, but the larger
right.
self.
We have so much of us to give.
We do,
I
and
really believe that.
everybody has these abilities. It's just through all the various things that go on, the consensus agreement about how things are supposed to be, what we get what we buy into in terms of belief systems and things like that, a lot of that thwarts that natural ability that is there. So I have observed many, many times this process with how Diana works with her students. And even if people are really not interested in being an aromatic alchemist, when they take her class, what it does is it releases people to spring forward. People have asked me a lot of times, well, what is it that Diana does? And I say, well, in a nutshell, she helps people get what they want.
Yeah.
And
so I want to say that Matthew makes it possible on a lot of different levels for me to do what I do. And I'm very, very grateful and appreciative that we found each other again. Yeah.
It's exciting. I even get the energy here on this side of the microphone. You know that? I really do. Because I pick up on
I
this.
appreciate that.
I've always been that way. I get it all, And a lot of other people out there do get that also. But
I'm sure they do.
With all the stuff happening in the world, all this weird stuff going on, and, we got the politics, got the UFOs, we got this and that going on, and it's just crazy right now. Everybody's a little afraid what's going to happen financially, where we're at. And so this is very important for people to get to know. I mean, really.
Well, yeah. Well, sovereignty is sort of the classroom that humanity's in right now. That's where it's time for us to grow up, and that's what we see happening all over the planet right now. There's so many beautiful, fine teachers that are helping facilitate humanity's growing up into our true nature. And sovereignty is really the name of the game on a personal and planetary level right now.
Well, if it's okay with you, I'm going to open the lines up. Will it be okay?
Please. Yeah.
To talk with Glenn Larry, deep in the desert of Nevada, lines are open at 1-702-874-1114. That's 702-874-1114. Pahrump lines are open at 775-990-8275. That's 775-990-8275.
And one caller per person, please. And no bad language. I appreciate that. And use common sense, critical thinking, please. And do turn down your radios, because that can be very, very, very confusing to you and me. Yes. I talked to a person many, many years ago about this, and of course they moved away, but I never got back into it. What other books can people get to study some of this stuff? It's more than meditation. That's what I'm trying to say. It's more than yoga. It's a couple.
More than that. One of the ones that's really made a big comeback lately is Wallace D. Wattles' book, The Science of Getting Rich Through the Power of Creative Thought.
I just watched
and
that.
You can you can download that on YouTube, the reading aloud of it, or purchase the book. It's a little book, Small and Mighty book.
Yeah.
And that's it's a wonderful basis for people to realize that it is actually a sacred task or job for each one of us to grow and become.
Right.
And to have and be and do all that we can, that is actually the divine inside of us that is wanting to do all those wonderful things. So that's a great one. Tom Kenyon's The Hathor Material is for people that have kind of a curiosity about that sacred sound, and the Hathors as an ascended race, as opposed to just Hathor being the Egyptian goddess in the Egyptian pantheon of deities. Bruce Lipton's books. Bruce Lipton, a wonderful, wonderful teacher who wrote a book called The Biology of Belief.
Interesting.
Greg Braden's books, and Greg Braden is a former NASA scientist who has been an amazing author and speaker about the science of consciousness. He bridges science to spirituality, and I think that's really where we must go as a human race if we want to survive, is the marriage of science and spirituality.
I don't know where I saw this at, but they were talking about how the rich really think, how successful people really think. I know that prayer works. I know that does. This kind of leads into another thing about past lives with certain things that Matthew. I was talking with Matthew about the other night, and but with this training of thinking, it's a new way of thinking. It's you've got to put yourself into that, believe it, and let it manifest itself. Let it happen. But you got to see it first.
Well, also, I'd like to say that I have a really doubting Thomas mind. I'm a true skeptic, and so it's okay if people are skeptical and doubting.
Okay.
All you have to do is ask to be shown, and you will. I mean, truly, if you want to know, you can. But and it's okay. It's okay if you believe today and then tomorrow you're doubting again. It just is.
Right.
It's like I want to assure people about that.
Well, it takes a study too. You have studies this stuff. Keep into it, like the Bible, the same thing.
Yes.
Let me ask Matthew what we talked about the other night. We kind of dampened on that. First, I'll open the lines and see what we got. Stand by.
Okay.
You're on the line with your name and where you're from, please.
Hi, my name is Mr. Thomas.
Okay. Hello, Thomas.
And
Welcome.
I have a question for Diana. When you get involved in the process, like when you first start, should you take any kind of precautions, or what should you be careful of?
Well, I'm glad you asked that. That's one of the reasons for the exercise I gave you all tonight, the 3 C's. Because when a human starts to open up and be curious and asking to look into the unseen worlds or the paranormal worlds of extraordinary energy, we kind of show up on some radar screens, and there can be mischievous or even negative energies that will want to come and visit.
Oh boy.
So, and that's what scared a lot of people off from opening up to working with their gifts. So the consolidation, being present in your body, having your higher self connection, your higher self will actually vet any other energy that tries to come around you. Yep, and your team as well, your divine team, your guardian angels, and the helping spirits assigned to you will help. It's important to tune your radio station very specifically to entertain only those energies that are unconditionally loving to you and supportive of your thriving and your awakening. And we get to activate our most precious gift, which is our free will and our choice. We get to say what we're willing to entertain and what we're not. And so, does that answer your question, Thomas?
Yes, it does. Thank you so much.
Well, that's good.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? Mr. Thomas, any other questions?
No, you had the email address in the beginning. I wrote that down, so I'll be using that. But it's been a very interesting show tonight. Thank you so much. Very informative.
Well, thank you for the phone call, sir. We appreciate it. Really do.
Thank you.
All right, sir. Thank you kindly.
Thank you, Thomas.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. So you would probably pray before you would do this, right? Is that how it would work? I mean,
Yeah, everybody,
has their
you
own.
need to set, you set the strong intention of what you want to experience,
Mm-hmm.
and you do pray to whatever you experience as God, Creator, divine being, to sort of guide you on your way. That's one of the reasons for the mystery school and our mystery school courses. And also, I do a lot of private client work where people will come to me with a problem or something they want to accomplish, and I'll work with them privately in a lot of different ways to help them learn this stuff.
Okay. Interesting. I'm up the lines up here again. I'll put the number on the screen, everybody, that they may see that. Here we go.
So I wanted to let you know that to prepare for tonight, because I was just a little tiny bit nervous, I applied 3 essential oils to help me.
Okay.
Lavender is the great harmonizer. She is the world's nurturing mother.
Mm-hmm.
Frankincense is the ambassador of sovereignty. He's the wise and benevolent king. And white rose is, she is the ambassador of piercing sweetness that helps us clear away anything that does not serve us and helps us get to the heart of the matter. So those are the 3 oils that both Matthew and I put on for what we're doing tonight with you.
Well, I appreciate you guys doing that. Last oil I had was years back in the 60s, patchouli oil.
Oh, yes.
That was
patchouli is, yes. Yeah. And I have my own patchouli oil in my Sacred Aromatics line of oils. She's a wonderful teacher.
Yes. We're going to give this number out again. Stand by.
To talk with Glenn Larry, deep in the desert of Nevada, lines are open at 1-702-874-1114. That's 702-874-1114. Now, here again, Glenn Larry.
Yeah, and also 1113 is open, by the way. 74-1113. 702 area code now. And yes, the lines are open. You can ask them all the questions you'd like to ask them. I have a question. What do you do? You do anything with lighting or with lights at all? As in color lights. Some people use color lights for certain things. What about tuning forks? You dealing with that at all?
I use a sort of a lot of different modalities depending on what someone is coming to me for. Light is really important. I have used tuning forks. I'm sorry?
Your tuning crystal.
Yes, I have a toning crystal that I sing through that provides very specific sound wave frequencies that will help people sort of access healing on physical, mental, emotional levels. But it's specifically, like, I know in Heidi, in one of her treatment rooms, there's a person that does work with light therapy. Light, color, geometry, sound, and fragrance all share the common language of frequency. So there's a frequency to every emotion. There's a frequency to every thought. And those are represented by shapes, geometries, sounds, fragrance, and color. So that's one of the fun things we get to to experiment and play with.
Do numbers come into play at all?
Oh, yes.
Would you tell
Yes,
us
they
more
do.
about that, please?
Oh, gosh. You know, it was the oils when I was doing blending that started teaching me about the energy of numbers, because it matters how many elements there are in a blend. It matters the number of drops mean different things. So when we start seeing certain master numbers like 11 or 22 or 33 or 44 show up, or we see Fibonacci numbers like 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, that Fibonacci sequence, the sacred geometry sequence that our solar system is designed on, it all means something depending on where and when it shows up. I imagine a lot of your listeners pay attention to when the clock hits 11:11.
Right.
And 11 is a synthesis mastery number. People that resonate with the number 11 are synthesis masters. They're meant to not just do one thing. They're meant to do many things and put them all together in a new feast to serve to their people. Okay. So does that help?
Yeah. I mean, it's I'm interested in the answer that you were going to give me. And so when you
and
see,
my favorite number is 1.618.
oh, really? So
That,
when you see
yeah.
a number like 444 or 777 or 877 come up all the time, what does that mean? Why would you be seeing these numbers? This happened to me before. I go, why am I seeing these numbers all the time?
Well, 444 has been called the archangelic number. Okay, so the archangels are present when you see 444, and that's actually the cost of my Creative Plane Abundance classes for the 6-month program. It's 444.
Wow.
And 7. Yeah.
That's
so
freaking me
funny
out a
you
little
ask.
bit here.
So,
Go ahead.
and then the aromatic alchemy course is the tuition for that is 777.
Oh,
7 is the number of creation.
yeah.
Okay, there aren't just 4 cardinal points on a medicine wheel. There's the east, the south, the west, the north, and above, below, and within.
Mm-hmm.
Or as my really dear teacher and mentor George Merkel said, it takes 7 whirling vortices of energy to bring something from spirit into matter. Okay.
Yes.
So that sacred 7 number, whenever you see the number 7, it's about creation. It's about doing something new, bringing something new from the abstract, from the unseen into concrete reality.
Have you ever seen an angel?
Oh, yes. I see them all the time when I see people's angels around them all the time. And often I get permission to tell them what colorway their angels are and what their names are so that they can have more of a personal relationship with them.
Is it as in guardian angel or just angels around them? Because there's always...
Well, what I get to see a lot is someone, say, does a session with me. Members of their spirit team will ask to be introduced to them, and I'll get to see their personal guardian angel. And I actually just heard yours, the name of yours, Mr. Yeah. So maybe we can talk about that after the show.
Yeah,
but I mean, sometimes what's happened, because I've had 9 brain injuries.
Oh, wow.
9. It has burst the doors open of my perception, so that often all you have to do is ask me a question and boom, I'm there already. It can get to be quite...
Are you probably ahead of me also?
I'm sorry?
I say you may be ahead of me also in some of my questions. I'm
Some-
getting that.
Sometimes.
Matt, what do you think, sir? Have you had experiences
Oh,
like Matthew?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, one thing that I can attest to is that being around Diana, there is an open highway to the Davic, angelic, and multidimensional dimensions. It's all around us all the time. We're seeing all kinds of stuff, and I've had to pull off the road sometimes because I can see two visions or two images of the same place, but one is not this time. It's a different time.
That's
and there's
interesting.
different beings there. I mean, and so when she says that she gets the name of your angel, yeah, I get it. I get it. I mean, there's no question about it. I'm sure she'll be able to,
I've had
tell you about
folks,
that one.
folks tell me
at a
that
later point.
you have an angel called Michael that's around you all the time. I've heard that. But well, if we hang up, I'll call you guys right away. But I'm anxious to find out.
It would make sense that Michael would be around you because of the work you do. You are bringing the sword of truth, the sword of blue flame, which is the sword of divine truth. And so he would be around you as a protector. Yeah, that makes sense.
I pray to him every night. Every night. And my other angels, and of course the Holy Spirit and all that. But I try to be that way because I know you have. As you get older, you've been through a lot, and you think about, where am I at really in my life? A lot of people are saying it right now because a lot of other stuff's going on. Where am I at?
Mm-hmm.
You've got to get together, like you say. We got to get our stuff together here, and connecting with the universe and all that's much, much better than some of the stuff going on here today. I mean, around us. And if we can be, I believe, spiritually open to a lot of stuff, which opens your mind to a lot of other people that can come in your lives also. That's a special thing, really is special. But let's give your phone, not your phone number out, your address, email address, and contact information for the folks out there, if you would. I appreciate that. Go ahead.
Yes. So one more time, it's Diana at sacredaromatics.com. DIANA, Diana, at sacred, SACRED, aromatics, AROMATICS.com.
Great.
It's and so that's the best way to contact me. Also, my website is dianadjames.com.
Good.
And there's a contact me kind of button on that. People can reach me that way as well.
Nice website, by the way. I saw it. Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Very well put out. I'm trying to redo mine right now, to tell the truth. So, yeah, very well done, I'll tell you. Again, I want to thank you both for being on the show. And I know it was kind of a different type of thing to talk about, but that's what we do here on K-Ghost Radio. And we have fun doing it. And it wasn't that bad, was it?
Not at all.
No, it was great fun. And thank you so much for having us.
Well, you be well. And may the universe be kind. And we'll be in touch. Okie dokie?
Thank you.
You got it.
Bye-bye.
I want to thank you all for listening tonight. I am Glenn Larry. Play well. What a show, huh? There's more to come. We're going to have her on again, and him, and a couple other folks that know more than I know in this field. You'll be well.